Hello, and welcome to Cambridge Business Essentials. Today we are going to tackle one of the most popular questions asked by Cambridge business students. What is Brexit? And more importantly, we are going to see how Brexit impacts business, so we can use Brexit as a fantastic way of explaining different business concepts, which ultimately is what's going to get us extra marks in the exam. So what is the EU? Well, it's a group of 28 countries, 27 minus Britain, which is soon to leave, which are joined into a political and economic union. This basically gives everyone and all businesses within the European Union 4 freedoms. These are the free movement of goods, services, capital and persons. So far so good. Well, the thing is, to allow this to happen, the countries in the EU have to get together to ensure there's a common rulebook for all businesses in all countries in the EU. It also means that all businesses have to follow the same rules regardless of where they are in the EU. Two recent examples of this are that mobile phone operators within the EU have to allow free roaming for short trips to consumers for different EU countries. So if I'm a resident in the Republic of Ireland and I go to Spain, I have to be allowed to use my mobile phone as if I was in Ireland with no roaming fees. It also means businesses in one EU country can have open access to sell products and services anywhere in any other EU country without tariff, which is a tax on imports, or quotas, which is a limit on how many products can be sold in another country. Businesses can also attract workers from anywhere within the EU without restrictions. This is because citizens of EU countries have the freedom to work and live anywhere in the EU that they choose. Sounds good, right? Well, businesses generally loved the opportunities the EU provided and did not want Britain to leave the EU. However, in Britain, membership of the EU has always been a controversial topic. This is because being a member of the EU means lost sovereignty. The common rules over how businesses in the EU is run is decided by EU members together, rather than the UK alone. Some people felt that British people alone should decide what those rules are. Furthermore, the free movement of people meant the UK could not control emigration. In 2016, there was an estimated 3.4 million EU migrants living in the UK, so that's about 5% of the total UK population. In 2016, the referendum on EU membership gave a result for 52% in favour of leaving the European Union. However, this was just the beginning rather than the end. For the next 953 days, a battle royale has ensued about the future connections between Britain and the EU. With 60 days to go until Britain leaves the EU and no deal yet agreed, there are potentially massive consequences for business. However, there are potentially massive opportunities for business students to use Brexit to explain different concepts, and I've honed these down to 6 different key areas. Firstly, the business environment is dynamic, and the management of change is a key theme that runs throughout GCSE and A-level business. No one expected a leave vote in 2016, but now businesses are preparing for a completely different trading system with Europe and the rest of the world. Can businesses adapt quickly enough? Can they seize the opportunities and avoid the dangers that Brexit may bring? Secondly, uncertainty. Businesses hate uncertainty. It means they will have to put off spending decisions. For example, would Nissan risk making the investment to build a new car in the UK if they don't know if the cars coming off the production line can be exported to the EU after Brexit? Well, this is exactly what happened with the Nissan X-Trail, and a couple of days ago, Nissan announced that it wouldn't be made in the UK going forward, but will be shifted to Japan. There are millions of similar business decisions which have to be postponed or cancelled because no one really knows what's going to happen after Brexit. Thirdly, workforce planning. Some UK businesses, particularly in sectors like agriculture, use thousands of immigrants to pick fruit or vegetables. This is a real worry after Brexit because they may not be able to find the staff to be able to complete these tasks, and it could mean that that produce, those fruit and vegetables, could be rotting in the ground rather than being picked and sent off to market. Operationally, it's also a huge challenge. For businesses that use just-in-time production, Brexit could be disastrous. Companies like Mini depend on thousands of deliveries of components to the British factory from suppliers all over Europe. If there is a delay in the arrival of these parts due to customs controls on the way to Britain, it could lead to the whole production line being shut down, leading to huge additional costs for that business. Inventory management. As businesses become more and more uncertain if supplies will continue to arrive from Europe after Brexit, they have begun to stockpile supplies. This means a huge increase in revenue for warehousing companies, with capacity rates currently at over 75%. And the huge demand for warehousing as companies stockpile has pushed prices for warehousing up 25%. Finally, location and relocation. Perhaps the biggest long-term risk to the UK economy from Brexit is if companies decide to relocate away to another country due to Brexit. There has already been a movement of financial services away from London. For example, Barclays has moved 250 billion of its EU banking assets to Dublin. Dyson, who make the vacuum cleaners and hand dryers of course, recently announced it would be moving its headquarters to Singapore. In reality, no one can tell for sure what the real impact of Brexit will be. But we can be certain that students of Cambridge Business will find a huge variety of juicy examples to explain business concepts and boost your grades. To find more video, exam tips and resources to maximise your grades, go to caebusiness.co.uk. And there'll be plenty more videos coming, so don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and see you later.